What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So check it out. It's about 2 p.m. right now on the East Coast, and at this point, this is the calm before the storm, guys. The markets are pretty much teeter-tottering between green and red right now. We have the VIX barely up. The metals, I think last I checked, were down. Yeah, the metals are down, and we got to break it down. We have to go over the PPI data very quickly, Pepsi's earnings. We have a bunch to talk about, so sit back, relax, stay hydrated, guys. As you can see, I've been drinking my water. This thing's almost empty, so stay hydrated out there, guys. Get your 15 stocks from Moomoo and your 12 stocks from Webull, link down below, and let's dive into the video. So again, it's about 2 p.m. right now, and the markets are teeter-tottering. We have the S&P down 0.1, Dow's up 0.1, the NASDAQ's at break-even, while the Russell is down about 0.4%, and again, the VIX is barely up about 1%, chilling in the mid-30s, as gold's down 0.5%, and silver is giving back all those gains. If you guys remember last week, silver had a 9-10% green day. Today, it's down 2.5%, and essentially, it is giving back all that gain. You know, silver was at 19 an ounce. It ran up to 21.30, and guess what? Now it's back to 19 an ounce. So let's break down what's going on. PPI, I can't even talk today, guys. The Producer Price Index, a measure of prices that the U.S. businesses get for the goods and services they produce, increased 0.4% for the month, compared with the Dow Jones estimate of a gain of 0.2%. So it pretty much came in double the Dow estimate, and on a 12-month basis, the PPI rose by 8.5%, which was a slight deceleration from the 8.7% in August, which is good, but guys, it is still 8.5%. That is still a very high number when we're looking at, recent history, right? And excluding food, energy, and trade services, the index increased 0.4% for the month and 5.6% from a year ago, the latter matching the August increase. And get this, guys, this is crazy, which I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I kind of agree with this, but Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester on Tuesday said, quote, "There has been no progress on inflation. There's been no progress," which, I mean, if you just look at the number of inflation, the past couple of months, I guess it really has not come down a good chunk yet. Maybe it's kind of peaked a little bit. Maybe it's flattening out at, 8, 9 or whatever, right in that percentage point. But I guess she's right. Loretta Mester, she said there has been no progress in terms of inflation coming down substantially, which I guess, all right, she's right. And following the PPI release, traders priced in an 81.3% chance of a 3/4 point hike for the next meeting, which was actually the same as the day before. So if you guys remember, we got the jobs report on Friday. Unemployment rates at 3.5%. We added, I think, 200-something thousand jobs in September, so the labor market's looking pretty decent. PPI came in more than what we thought, right? If the CPI comes in higher than expected, guys, tomorrow, which is at 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, you bet your you-know-what, we're probably going to get a 3/4 point hike, maybe even higher than that. And the stock market, it's not going to like that. And I'm trying to get this eyelash out of my freaking eye, guys. It's not working. But overall, that's what we got this morning. We got the PPI, and again, tomorrow's the CPI, and it's kind of the calm before the storm at this point. We can see SPY is holding right around, as I'm filming, $357.50. It's barely at break even. And you guys can see, I've mentioned this time and time again on the channel. Make sure to hit that like button, guys, if you've heard me say this before, because I've said it a bunch, so everybody should hit that like button. That's a good way to get you to hit the like button, right? 355 was that low from the beginning of this month. And guess where we are now? I just said it. 357. We're pretty much right there. And I think yesterday we almost hit that low. We hit 355, something really close to that low from earlier in October. So again, I can't say it enough. This low, in my humble opinion, will be taken out if we do end up getting higher than expected CPI, like I've been saying. And who was that analyst we talked about? Was it a JP Morgan, a UBS analyst recently? He believes, which I totally agree with, that if we get higher than expected CPI, we could get some sort of sell-off that we got, a similar sell-off to what we got last month when we got August's CPI, which wasn't even much crazier than expected, and the stock market freaked out. It went down 4 or 5% in a day, maybe a little bit more than that for Triple Q. You guys remember that, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is going to be a very interesting, next couple of days. I mean, really, the rest of today, tomorrow, and Friday, it's going to be a bumpy road. So I'm going to set one alert here. Mark is at or below 355 on SPY. If we break under that point, you guessed it, we're going down to those highs from pre-COVID, in my opinion, 340, 345 on SPY. And if Triple Q, which, mind you, already took the lows out, but let's say we break under 260 on Triple Q, I'll put my alert there now. Mark is at or below. This could really start gaining some speed to the downside towards that pre-COVID high, which I've mentioned before time and time again, 235, 240, 245. That's where this could be going, in my opinion. So, yeah, calm before the storm. Calm before the storm, guys. Markets not doing much right now, but we do have a lot of individual stocks moving, which we're going to break down right now. We had Pepsi report earnings this morning, and what did I say, guys? Did I not call this out to a T? Pepsi was down 12% heading into this earnings report from $180. It was, a couple of months ago, and it went to 160 heading into this report. So it was already super oversold. Technically, it was at the bottom of this channel where buyers have came in, judging throughout the course of this year. So this earnings report would have had to been awful for them to go down even more. So the fact that they actually did pretty well on earnings, beat revenue, beat EPS, we'll talk about that in a second, this thing exploded on that because it was so beaten down heading into earnings, so oversold. It was at a big technical spot here. Again, like I said, bottom of the channel. It was only a matter of time before this thing saw the relief rally that it's seeing right now. So EPS came in at $1.97 for Pepsi versus the $1.84 estimate. Revenue came in at $21.97 billion versus $20.84 billion estimated. So they beat EPS, they beat revenue, and year over year, revenue a year ago was just over $20 billion. So from $20.1 billion to almost $22 billion, they grew revenue, 7-8% roughly year over year. That is not too bad at all. So at this point where we are now on Pepsi, guys, you got to realize we are at a resistance. So just like that, we went from being oversold to now we're more overbought on the RSI here on the 4-hour chart. And we're approaching that 170 marker, which you guys can see. We actually did test 170 earlier in the day. We got almost a 171, and we've actually sold off from that point. That's the 180 SMA resistance here on the 4-hour time frame. So I don't think it's quite time yet to say, oh, Pepsi's going to get rejected here. It's going to go right back down and break under 160. I'm not there yet, but I'm being cautious because, again, 170 is the 180 SMA resistance. We got to get out of there. So in the meantime, I'm going to set my alert at 170. Mark is at or above. If that point breaks on Pepsi, really, let me put that up a little bit more, actually. Maybe at 172. If that point breaks, this rally post-earnings that we're seeing right now could continue to the point where maybe Pepsi starts gunning for that mid 170, 180 marker. Maybe it goes back to those highs, which I think was the all-time high for Pepsi, which was hit in the middle of August, right? Yeah, that's the all-time high, $180 per share. So what do you guys think about Pepsi? Do you own the stock? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Not too bad. Here it says PepsiCo analyst reacts to beat and raise quarter, strengthen position and pricing power. Of course, I mean, they have pricing power, guys. And if you didn't know, Pepsi owns a lot of different things. It's not just Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. They own a lot of different beverages. They own a bunch of snacks. And if you have a bag of chips at the supermarket for $2 or $1.99 or $1.87 or $2.25, if they raise it by 20, 30 cents, whatever, you're going to notice it. You're going to be like, dang it, this bag of chips, it went up a little bit. This Gatorade, they own Gatorade, right? This went up 10%, but guess what? I'm still buying it. That's just the reality of the matter, right? And not just me, but most people out there. They're going to see little price increases, but the products, the brand names, they speak for themselves. People love Pepsi products. People are still going to buy the products. And the earnings, they look pretty good from a brief glance there, and I do agree 100% with that analyst. Pepsi does have pricing power 100%. So let's see what else is going on very quickly here, guys. Airbnb's moving. This is actually getting towards my 115 target. I talked about this on Patreon this morning. I make morning update videos every single day on Patreon. Check that out. Link down below. I also post my morning, call outs, what I'm doing in the markets, all that good stuff. So shameless plug, link down below. I mentioned Airbnb. I told you guys 115, that's a big spot, and now we're approaching that. We're getting close. We're up 5% on the day, over $112 a share. If Airbnb breaks 115, and that happens to be the 180 SMA resistance here on the 4-hour time frame as well, there is going to be a gnarly rip, in my opinion, a big move, in other words. I think Airbnb could be going towards 125, maybe even higher than that. If we do start getting that momentum above $115. So overall, guys, I don't want to keep this video too long. Let's see what else we have going on. PayPal, Chewy. There's a lot of movers today. I guess we'll talk more about these in my next video. Let me just quickly look at oil. And by the way, make sure to subscribe for that next video. We make one short here a day. I'm trying to get the schedule down pat, guys, for the YouTube channel here. My schedule now, one short a day, 2 market updates a day, in the middle of the day and at night. So if that's what you guys want to see from me, that type of content, make sure to subscribe. And let's see. And by the way, hit the like button and let me know if you'd like me to make any other content. I'm going to start live streaming too. That's coming. I know I've been saying that, but that's coming. And I'm probably going to start doing that maybe once or twice a week, see how the demand is looking, and we'll take it from there. So crude oil is down 2%. Okay, there we go. Oil is at 87 a barrel right now. It's down a little bit. It's starting to fall under 90. So this is a critical spot for oil. Right here at the moving averages, 85, 87. That's a big spot for the bulls. So keep an eye on that. If we start falling back under 85 a barrel, it's gonna be interesting at that point, to say the least. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Check out my Patreon. And don't forget to get your 15 stocks for Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000. And I think that offer is actually running out here pretty soon. So use that link down below. Get your 15 stocks for Moomoo. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys. I got to finish this water. Again, stay hydrated. I'll see you later. Peace out.